Have you ever been judged because of how you look? Your hair, your lashes, your nails, especially by someone who's supposed to welcome you into their family? Well, for Rachel, a certified Lagos GenZ baddie with a brain to match, her fiancé's traditional mother didn't just judge her looks. She declared a 2-week boot camp to turn Rachel into a proper wife. This is how it began. That evening, Rachel stared at the WhatsApp message from her future mother-in-law and felt her acrylic nails dig into her palms. Come stay with us for 2 weeks. Let's have a mother and daughter time. No, please, just a command, like she was enrolling in the military. Her fiancé David kissed her forehead. Babe, it's just 2 weeks. My mom just wants to bond with you. Rachel wanted to say that bonding usually involved having a girls' night out and gossip, but she smiled instead. She had always wanted to be closer to her future mother-in-law. She could do this. How hard could it be? Very hard, apparently. The moment Rachel stepped out of the Uber at David's family house in the village, his mother's face folded like a disappointed napkin. Mama David stood in the doorway, arms crossed, scanning Rachel from head to toe like an FBI agent who'd found something suspicious. Rachel, is this what you decided to wear to my house? Mama David's voice could cut glass. Short dress, long wig, those things in your eyes like butterfly wings, and nails. Are they not too long? All this artificial nonsense, eh? Is this how you dress in your father's house? Rachel looked down at her cute sundress that hit just above her knee. In Lagos, this was church clothes. Here, apparently, it was too short. Good afternoon, Ma, Rachel said, sweetly, bending slightly in greeting. I brought other clothes in my bag. I can what? As if they're any better. Mama David turned and walked into the house. Come inside, there's work to be done. The next day, day 1 of Mama David's boot camp, Mama David woke Rachel at 5 a.m. Why are you still sleeping? Is this how your mother sleeps instead of preparing food for her husband? Rachel was confused. It was just 5 a.m. Who gets up to prepare breakfast by this time? That day, Rachel learned that work meant everything. She swept, she cooked, she fetched water even though there was a tap right there in the kitchen. When she served the jollof rice she'd spent 2 hours making, Mama David took one bite and made a face like she'd swallowed bleach. Did you use all the spices in the kitchen? The salt is too much. The rice is too soft. She pushed the plate away. Did your mother teach you how to cook? Rachel's eye twitched, but she smiled. I'll do better tomorrow, Ma. Day 3, things escalated. Mama David dragged her to the market at 5 a.m. Yes, 5 a.m. when even the roosters were still negotiating their alarm times. Rachel wore jeans and a t-shirt. Comfortable, practical. Wrong again. Look at this one, Mama David announced loudly to the entire market. My son's wife-to-be wearing trousers like a man. In my time, we wore wrappers and clothes that covered our body. We had respect. The market women turned to stare, and Rachel wanted to melt into the yam pile. Your generation, all you know is Instagram, Facebook, and how to shake your boom boom on the internet. Can you even pluck a chicken? Rachel looked at the chicken. The chicken looked back, judgmentally. We don't do that in my house, Ma. I can't stand killing an animal. But I can learn, Ma. You people are just too soft and spoilt. We will see. By day 5, Rachel had been criticized for her cooking. Either the food was too spicy or not spicy at all. Cleaning, walking, talking, breathing, and the way she peeled plantains, too slow. She'd been dragged to the farm where she'd nearly cried pulling cassava from the ground, while Mama David sat in the shade commenting, in my time, we walked faster. When I was your age, I could harvest 5 bags of cassava in an hour. Your parents just spoiled you. That's why you're lazy. Rachel called David every night. Babe, I think your mom hates me. No, she's just a typical African woman. She'll warm up to you. Maybe just try harder, David would say each time she complained. Try harder? Rachel was trying so hard she felt like a contestant on a reality show nobody had asked her to be on. Day 8 brought the breaking point. Rachel woke up at 4:30 a.m. Apparently 5 a.m. was now too late. Cooked breakfast without being asked and served it perfectly. Mama David took one look at the eggs and sighed dramatically. This is too oily. And you used butter instead of palm oil. Eh? Is this how your mother cooks? What kind of wife are you going to be? I'll have to talk to David about this. Rachel was stunned. Palm oil for eggs when there is groundnut oil and butter? But she bit her tongue and didn't say anything. That evening, David came to visit. Rachel thought finally her savior had arrived. She complained about his mother's treatment, expecting support. Instead, David shrugged. Babe, maybe if you just, I don't know, try to be more like my mother. Traditional, respectful, less Gen Z. The record scratched in Rachel's brain. More like your mother, but you fell in love with me like this, she repeated slowly. Yeah, I know, but maybe remove the lashes and the nails and just, dress simpler. Rachel smiled. It wasn't a happy smile. It was the smile of someone who just made a decision. You're so right, baby. I should be exactly like your mother. David beamed, completely missing the danger. I knew you'd understand. The next morning, Rachel transformed. She found one of Mama David's old wrappers and tied it around her waist. She removed her wig and packed her natural hair into the tightest, oldest looking scarf she could find. She scrubbed off her makeup and took off her jewelry. Then she became Mama David. When David's mother called her for breakfast, Rachel shuffled into the kitchen and frowned at the food already prepared. This food, Rachel announced loudly, channeling her inner mother-in-law. The salt is too much. Not enough pepper. The yam is too soft. Who taught you how to cook like this? Mama David's eyes widened. And David, Rachel called out, come here. You're wearing that shirt. The color is too bright. In my time, men wore simple clothes, respectable colors, not this flashy nonsense. David emerged from his room confused. Rachel, what? Don't Rachel me, she snapped, hands on hips. Your shoes are not shiny. Go polish them again. They're not shiny enough. Actually, they're too shiny. Just do them again. For the next 3 days, Rachel became a replica of Mama David. She criticized everything. She made impossible demands. She sent David to fetch water even though the tap was working. She made him sweep the compound 3 times because I can still see dust. She corrected his posture. Stand up straight. His eating. Chew slower. You are not a goat. No, faster. And his breathing. Why are you breathing so loud? Didn't your father teach you manners? The confusion on David's face was delicious. But the real masterpiece came at dinner on day 13. The whole family gathered. David, Mama David, his father, and 2 of David's siblings. Rachel served the food, then sat down with a long sigh, exactly like Mama David. Rachel began, in my time, we didn't need to eat meat at every meal, but this generation, so spoiled and entitled. She pointed her spoon at David. And you, when are you going to learn how to cook? What if something happens to me? Will you starve? A man should know how to cook. Your father knows how to cook. Papa David looked at her and smiled. He has been expecting Rachel to snap a long time ago. And these clothes you bought me, Rachel continued, gesturing to her outfit, which was actually Mama David's. They are too expensive, too flashy. What are you trying to prove? That you have money? Who do you want to impress? Pride is a sin, David. David looked like he was having a system malfunction. Mama David was staring at Rachel like she was watching a car crash. Also, Rachel said, really warming up now. We need to talk about those your friends. That Emeka boy, he's a bad influence. He wears earrings. And Chidi, I saw him laughing with a woman at the market. Disrespectful. You need better friends. Rachel, David started. Don't interrupt me when I'm talking. Didn't your mother teach you manners? The table went silent. Mama David's face did something complicated. A journey through shock, realization, and what might have been respect. After dinner, David pulled Rachel aside, looking genuinely distressed. Babe, what's going on? You're acting like your mother, Rachel said sweetly. But baby, I thought that's what you wanted. A traditional wife, someone who criticizes everything, makes impossible demands, and treats you like a child who doesn't know better. David's face went through several emotions at once. That's not... I didn't mean what? You told me to be more like her, so I am. This is what you're signing up for the rest of your life. Every day, every meal, every decision. Is this what you want? The silence stretched like old chewing gum. Finally, David whispered, No. Then maybe, Rachel said, her voice still sweet but with steel underneath. You should tell your mother that you're marrying me. Rachel, the Gen Z girl with the lashes and nails and dreams and opinions, not some village ghost version of me. And maybe, just maybe, you should support your wife instead of throwing her under the bus to please your mother. David stared at her, then slowly nodded. You're right. I'm so sorry, Rachel. I was a coward. The next morning, day 14, the last day, Rachel came to breakfast in her cute dress, full makeup, wig laid to perfection, lashes looking like they could take flight, nails gleaming. Mama David took one look at her and sighed. But this time, there was something different in her eyes. You've made your point, the older woman said quietly. Rachel sat down, poured herself tea, and smiled. Ma, I respect you, I really do, and I'm willing to learn from you. But respect goes both ways. I'm not trying to replace you. I'm trying to be a good wife to David in my own way, the Gen Z way, which includes loving your son, managing a career, and yes, sometimes wearing short dresses and long lashes. For the first time in 2 weeks, Mama David's face softened, just a little. You have pepper in you, she admitted. I was testing you, seeing if you would break. Well, I didn't break. I adapted. That's what a Gen Z does. Clock it. Mama David actually smiled. Maybe my son chose well after all. Maybe he did, Ma. The two women learned to respect and tolerate each other. Although they never became best friends, that would be too unrealistic. But Mama David stopped with the constant criticism, and Rachel stopped performing her satirical traditional wife routine. They reached an understanding, mutual respect, occasional jollof rice, and an agreement that Rachel would call before visiting, and Mama David would never again comment on the lashes. As for David, he spent the next month apologizing and promising to always have Rachel's back. He also took a cooking class because Rachel had made an excellent point about self-sufficiency. At their wedding 6 months later, Mama David showed up in a surprisingly modern dress, and Rachel wore the longest lashes she could find, not to spite anyone, but because she was Rachel, and Rachel was fabulous. And no one criticized her. She didn't break. She just reformed the narrative. A Gen Z can be a perfect wife and mother while still slay. What would you have done if you were in Rachel's shoes? Have you ever had such an experience? Tell us in the comment section. Stay tuned for more stories like this. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Goodbye.